Good morning. It's September 20th, about 6:30 a.m. We're at the Upper Works Trailhead at the new parking lot. It's been here for a couple years, but I haven't been up here for 4 or 5 years. So we're taking on Mount Marshall today. It should be about a 14-mile round trip. Temperatures just under 50 degrees, and we're setting off. Okay, so now with the new parking lot, you got to make a tenth of a mile walk up to what I think of as the true trailhead. Used to be 20 years ago, you come up here and you walk by all the abandoned buildings. Now the only thing that's here is the chimneys. I don't know when they took them down, probably 10, 15 years ago. But it was like walking through a ghost town or driving through a ghost town, because you drive right up through all the buildings to get to the dirt parking lot. Okay, we're all signed in at the trailhead registry over here. Signed in for Marshall. Check it out. Autumn is definitely here in the Adirondacks. Lots of maple leaves already down. So we're expecting to see some more foliage colors, this being towards the end of September up here in the high peaks. Okay, let's hit the trail. 3.5 miles in. Another half mile or mile to get to Calamity Pond. Okay, a little over 4 miles in, we're approaching Calamity Pond. Take this little side trail to the left to the open space, and you'll come to the memorial for Dave Henderson. 1845, September 1845, very same month. On this spot, Dave Henderson of the Ironworks was up here, and there was an accidental firearms discharge, and Mr. Henderson lost his life. So this is all Calamity, named after that event. Calamity Pond, Calamity Brook, and up there, a little behind the trees, Calamity Mountain. So, shortly after Calamity Pond, you'll pass a lean-to and hit this trail sign here, Algonquin Peak, Lake Holden to the left, and trail down to the left. That's the way we go. Straight is pretty much the shores of the floodlands, and I think there's camping there. Okay, just came from that direction, approached these two nice bridge abutments with no bridge, crossed over there, and as soon as you get across, come into this dark wooded area, and what do we got? We got a little cairn right here. That's the way up to Mount Marshall. We made it around the floodlands. The sun came out over the mountains. Should be about 1.5 miles up to the summit, and away we go. When we first start out, plenty of blowdown, which means bypasses, which means you're not sure you're on the trail. This is my favorite part of this hike up Marshall. You're out on essentially the riverbed, granite slabs for fair ways. Looks like we're crossing the brook again. Where are we? In Oregon? Look at all this moss. It's crazy. Okay, we've crisscrossed the brook several more times. Getting up there, get a little further. Trail takes a big bend to the left, and then you're starting to get close. .1 in, nearing the summit. Doesn't look like it. We Can't be that far out. Good view of Iroquois and Shepherd's Tooth across the way. Just came up from there. And we'll keep going up there. Two-hand pull up. There. Approaching Marshall Summit. Voila. Just gotta get up this rock. There we go. Marshall Summit. 4,370 feet. There are views on some side trails. We'll go explore those. Not bad. 7.3 miles from Upper Works to here. And it's definitely time for lunch and a Summit Coke. Views from just behind the summit sign. That's St. Anthony out there. Henderson Lake. That's Mount Adams in the middle. And Allen out there somewhere. Nice day. Views from the other side of Marshall Summit. There's Marcy out there. That's the flip side of what we saw last week from Colvin and Blake. It's Colvin in the trap dike, and to the left, Iroquois, and below Iroquois you can make out Shepherd's Tooth, and up to the right of Iroquois is Algonquin. Another great day. Now, if you want to see the downed airplane on Marshall, you have to take the Cold Brook Trail. To get to the Cold Brook Trail, at this leaning tree and mud pit, you take this trail to the left, right there. That's the spur trail over to Cold Brook. If you want to, I'm not going there today. If you want to see the plane on my video, go see, I think it was 2 years ago, where we did Marshall from the LOJ through Avalanche Lake. Oh, Jesus. Oh. Okay, we're still descending, but we've dropped most of the elevation by now. Made it past all the little drops, and there's one more mud puddle. There's mud puddles, and came down along the brook and walked in the brook, and so heading back to the junction, and we're back at the junction. So that was the herd path up to Marshall. Of course, let's see what this sign says. If you go this way, you're heading to Lake Colden. Oh, there's just a lean-to over there. That's what the sign is for. Head that way, you're going to Colden. We're not going to Colden. We're going out into the parking lot. So Goodbye, Marshall. There's our little bridge out. Took the side trail down to the flowed lands. It's maybe 30 yards, 40 yards. You get out here, it's just frogs and bugs, and there's only noises you hear in the breeze. And we're back at Calamity Pond and the Henderson Memorial for a late lunch. Sit right here and have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and enjoy the view. Here's an example of hardened trail that they've put in some areas. Decided to take the 100-yard walk over to Lake Henderson. Take a peek there. There we go. Lake Henderson, named after, come on, you know it. You knew there was going to be a quiz at the end of this hike, right? David Henderson, the guy who lost his life at Calamity Pond. So, nice little lake. I put a kayak in here once, and when you get out down there and take a right, you get a good view of wall face. So, that's it, all signed out at the Trail Registry. Mount Marshall done. 15 miles in just under 8.5 hours. That's it. Back to the car for a cold one. Welcome to the post-hike interview. I'm Norm, and we just finished Marshall for third round credit. The trails were in great condition out there today. There was, there's a lot of mud on the Calamity Brook Trail and the Marshall Trail. Most of it's dried up and firmed up, but except for at the summit of Marshall, or near, high up on Marshall, there's some real knee-deep mud up there. But the trails are in good shape, except there's rain in the forecast for next week. So if you're coming out here next week or shortly thereafter, wear your big boy boots. You're going to need them. That's it here from Upper Works. We're going to head home, and happy hiking. Peace out. That's much better.